Hey, what up? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Uh, is it just you?
For now.
Oh, is the other one coming?
Uh, you never know, man. You never
You
know.
don't even know. Oh, is the other one coming?
We have bona fide celebrity, car celebrity in the DC area. So maybe he's free, maybe he's not. I don't
Oh, whatever.
know.
Maybe he wants to show up, maybe he doesn't.
Never know, man.
All right. Let's see. Well, I was ready and I was here, so just saying.
Congratulations. You were on time for something for the first time ever in life.
Not first time. Fuck you.
Okay. All
Motherfucker.
right. Yay.
Uh, man, this guy, your hair is all different now, man. What's up?
I'm in need of a haircut. Is what it is.
I mean, I was gonna put
uh,
you out like that, but
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, usually we try to hide
with
with
a
a hair with a hat or whatever.
baseball,
Yes, people.
yeah,
That's why you see me with a hat. You know what I'm
Batman hat.
saying?
He was like, "Fuck it."
Um,
Today.
but hey, I'm packing my stuff. I'm moving to a new house. F it.
Congratulations.
Okay,
Yeah.
some of the stuff's
Oh, yeah,
gone.
that's true. I do see boxes. Yep. Um,
Exactly. Exactly.
I
Exactly.
see box.
You know what's funny is like no matter how much you think you prepare for a
Oh
move,
God.
right? You do something before packing.
Yeah.
We bought a storage area, right? Packed up a whole bunch of stuff because we had to get the house ready for people to see it and all that. I mean,
Yeah.
we filled the thing up, right? Still got a whole bunch of stuff to pack. I mean, it's never ending.
One of the
This
things
this
I've always
stuff.
learned, you never know how much shit you have until you gotta move. Like,
True. I
like
hate moving, by the way. I hate
moving
moving.
sucks.
I
Moving's the
hate it.
worst thing ever. And let me tell you something. If you ever want to know who your true friends are, right?
All I'm asking to move.
Help you move. Two things. It's either ask them to move or taking you to the airport. Right?
Well, I feel like the airport isn't a big ass, right? But that move, that's sweat, right?
Yeah. Well, that's labor.
Right. That's yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
But
usually, and you usually get that. Yeah.
I
You know
also feel
what?
taking to the airport is or picking you up from the airport because what if your flight gets delayed? Like so, some good friends of mine, right? People I was in the wedding with that you're making fun of me last November. Um,
Because you were the maid of honor. Yeah. That's literally my job to make fun of you for that.
oh my god, and we'll never see the end of that. They haven't released it. I think they've shown a couple pictures. They haven't released the pictures yet, so
You
we'll
probably
see.
asked them not
Only the one with me holding the bouquet is the one that has you not.
to. Somebody else walked you down the aisle.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. Well, this weekend been a little bit busy for myself or keep myself busy. Um building a new rig for
Right, right. You
you can
went to
actually
a micro center, right?
went to micro well, I ordered two things. So you can see like on my bed here, I still have like parts there that I gotta like remove. And if you look at let me make sure I'm looking at myself in the camera. Actually, the computer is actually right here that I'm building.
Mm.
So I got a lot of shit in already. Um I got the motherboard in, I got the graphics card in. I mean, I'm being very careful because I mean, I did put some money into this and I don't want to fuck it up. Right?
Hope you don't do that.
Yeah. I mean, I told you why I'm doing this, right? Because my CPU on my laptop isn't as strong as I thought it was going to be. And I
Yeah, yeah.
realized that they kind of lied what the CPU is. Like I checked on Amazon when I ordered it, and it showed it was one CPU, and then I looked at my computer, my actual computer, and it showed it was a different CPU, and I'm like the lower endish CPU, and I'm like, damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's
asshole.
not good.
Yeah,
that's not good at all.
Yeah, so I actually got one of the latest CPUs, like $600. It's fucking Intel i9, and they came out with like an i9 whatever like this year, which I didn't get because that was just stupid expensive. It was like twice as much, right? You have to be very mindful like when you're buying shit for like these computer companies because they'll charge you a fuck ton of money just for like a letter change in the name or some shit. So like been doing that. Like I started that late yesterday, and I started like sometime like around 1 o'clock, and I was stuck for a second, and then it started clicking. It started making sense. There are a couple wires that like I don't know where they go yet, and I'm trying to like just find the right research to kind of figure out like where they go and whatnot. I was hoping to kind of get this done actually by today. But like by this
You're pretty slow, man.
Huh?
You're slow. I mean, I worked with you before. You're pretty slow. So maybe
whatever.
Next episode.
I do it correctly though.
Maybe next episode you'll have that.
I do it correctly though. But yeah, no, it's gonna be a good build. It's gonna be like very colorful, whatever. So hopefully I'll do it the next episode. I'll do that. But we didn't even say thank you guys. So thank you. Welcome to the Targeted Podcast. I am Sahid. That is Nicholas with the correct name this time. And yeah, we were gonna do this yesterday, and I told Nicholas like, hey, the NBA Game 7 is tomorrow, and I kind of don't want to miss it. And I'm happy I made that call.
No, you were right. You were absolutely right. I'm just used to the pattern.
Yeah, no, pattern is work. No, pattern is correct. No, patterns you need to be able to do. That's how you get things done, like having a routine, right? And actually, that's funny. Like, I need to set up my routine for this week because I have like a lot of shit I need to get done. But yeah, saw the playoffs, and man, I'm happy I saw it. Like, it was actually the Boston was like killing them at the beginning, right? And then Miami came back. Felt like Marcus
Butler trying to get him back.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler was killing it. Like, you just couldn't make the last shot. Good, but the guy just had nothing left in him, right, at the end of the game. Because he played like all the minutes. Like he didn't. I don't think he ever stepped out, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like Marcus Smart also tried to give the game away.
Guy was jacking a lot of threes.
Jacking some stupid shots, and I'm like, you're not Steph Curry. Like that's not. You won the Defensive Player of the Year, right?
Yeah.
Like yeah, it was weird, but like I'm happy. I like Boston. They're a good team. One thing I think was really interesting though, so the teams that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving left are in the finals this year. If you think about it. Both those teams, Golden State's back in it. Boston made the finals this year. Right. And as you know, Boston beat the pants out of the Nets earlier this year. And I think when someone pointed that out, I was like, shit, that's hilarious. That is fucking hilarious.
I think it's funny that Kyrie's been talking about like how much he's matured since his days with LeBron or whatever. But I think that guy still has some maturity to him, man. I just think he's still well, I mean, I'm not, but I'm just saying that guy's been, if he's on your team, man, he's a cancer, man. It's always something. Some reason why he's not playing. It's always something. It's just something. It's always something with that guy every year.
I mean, you can't hold him accountable, right? That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So KD,
you have all the talent in the world.
Yeah.
If you can't depend on you,
KD isn't willing to hold him accountable too, right? That's the thing. Like KD just wants to go out there and ball, right? I don't even like Kyrie. I don't even think he's trying to win championships, right? Like he just like you can tell when Nash came to the team.
I won't say that. Everybody wants to win championships.
When Steve Nash came to the team, right? He was like, yeah, I mean, I'm happy he's the coach and we don't really need a coach. I mean, I can be the coach. And like, who the fuck says that?
That was telling right there. But then again, I mean, I don't think Steve Nash was the right coaching choice. No disrespect.
Oh, he's not the right coaching choice at all.
for a team like that with those egos and all that. You can't have a first timer up there. I appreciate he was a former player, which may have helped him a little bit, but no.
Yeah. I mean, look, two-time MVP, great player, Hall of Famer. I think he's 75 anniversary team too. I think so.
I
he
think
should
so.
be. He should be. So yeah, I mean, obviously he has the credentials as a player, but as a coach, right? Especially with those kind of personalities. And I mean those kind of personalities, I mean mainly Kyrie, right? He's just kind of the guy thinks he's smarter than everyone else. That's just the thing, right? The guy thinks he's smarter than everyone else, right? And I think true maturity is like knowing you have much to learn, right? It's not understanding how much you learn, but just knowing like, hey, I've learned a lot, but I'm still hungry. I still want, more. That's just not what you see from him, unfortunately. So,
right.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, it is what it is. So, yeah.
At the end of the day, I said the Warriors would be in the chip much earlier. Mm-hmm. So Steph is still my guy. So I'm hoping that he can get his Finals MVP and get this ring, man. He needs it.
I hope so.
He can take his rightful place and get his respect. A lot of people still be hating on that guy. You listen to Skip Bayless. It's like he's never done anything ever in life. But Skip likes to point out like that one game where you went like where you had a bad shooting night or whatever. He only looks at that, right? He doesn't look at the other stuff that you did, like maybe the assists that you got or whatever else. Like, no, you came up short because you're the star player. It's like,
I mean, that's what we do with star players. Though we put way too much pressure on them, right? For example, let's talk.
It's part of the package.
Let's talk LeBron for a second, right? Like we can look at Dallas and say how they fought. We can look at like Memphis and say how they fought, and like they fought hard, right? And they just came up short. Like, but if LeBron comes up short, like we don't talk about how he fought hard. We
no
trash, right? So
he was never clutch. He doesn't have the clutch gene.
Yeah, exactly. Right, even though the guy's dragging his team. No, it is unfortunate we're in a state where we can't hold each other. I think we're too scared to hurt each other's feelings, and we can't hold each other accountable, right? And you need to be able to foster a place where you can hold someone accountable, right, but not like offend someone, right?
I agree.
Like I actually experienced that with work recently on a different team where it's like you can't hold some of these guys accountable. They just want to just kind of run their mouth, and it's unfortunate too.
And be the one that want to run their mouth that doesn't really have the knowledge to do anything, right?
That's so accurate. It's so amazingly accurate. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. So we have two options here, man. We can either kind of talk about the Texas gun law next, or we can talk or Texas gun issues, or we want to talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi. I already had the order, but I was like, you know what? I don't really care for the order.
It doesn't matter. But I want to talk about the gun thing because obviously it's been dominating the news right lately, and it's one of those things where it's getting to the point where this happens like way too much.
Yeah,
right? And it seems to be happening more and more often, right?
Yeah.
And so when I heard about the gun law, when I heard about what happened, it's just, me and the wife put the kids to bed. We're just looking at them, hugging them like a little closer, right? Because they're almost at the age where it's time for them to go to school. And I mean, when you think about your kids going to school, you're thinking about a place where you consider them to be safe, specifically at that age, right? These are, 5 to 11 years old. These are elementary school kids. And you don't think about, you just don't think about anybody coming in there to shoot kids that are that age. I mean, my God, right? And so when we saw these headlines, we found out what happened. I was like, are you serious? I mean, I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, man. You know, this kid just went in there and just killed them, all of them.
I believed it. Because this is like the what is it, fourth, fifth? How many times this happened now? Way too much.
You say fourth or fifth.
No, it's more than 4 and 5. That's correct. Yeah.
They put up a graphic on the number of shootings that have happened. I mean, it's way more than you think.
Oh God.
We're only really privy to the ones that make the national news level, right? Yeah. Shootings happen at schools way more often than you might believe.
Yeah.
And it's just sad that I mean, yeah, they're babies. They're babies. They're just barely old enough to maybe figure out who they are a little bit, you know, their name, and maybe they had a few dreams. And I mean, at this point at that point in their lives, I mean, they don't even know how the world works. They're in their own world. They're just happy. They have their friends. They're just playing, and everything is carefree and fun. And he took away their opportunity to grow up.
Yeah,
he stole that from him.
I mean, and it really shows the hypocrisy too, right? Because like, since these kids, these babies aren't in a woman's womb, they don't care. They're not going to care enough to make laws about it, right? Like, if they're in a woman's womb, let's make a law. You can't touch it, right? But we don't make laws. Like, the guy bought the guns legally. Like, that was a legally bought gun, right?
For his birthday.
Yeah. And like, they're loosening, like, you know, Texas, like, gun laws, not tightening them, right? And it's so funny because you hear like the same excuses, right? Mental health, you know, bad guy, only a bad guy with a gun because you stop a good guy with a gun. Right. Which, oh, by the way, apparently the police delayed going in, by the way. Like, apparently, like the police delayed actually going out. There's actually going to be a federal investigation on the police response to this because there's a delay.
So this is what I want to do. This is what I'm doing with this, because there's a lot to cover here, right? I want to talk about what actually happened, and then we're going to talk about some of the gun laws. So
we have a show on gun laws too. Damn it! I should have.
We'll link it later. Yeah, you can go back and check that.
Yeah.
But evidently, this young man, you know, he was being bullied in school, and he decides to go. He kills his grandmother, for one, and then he goes to the school and starts shooting these kids. Before he did it, he posted pictures of the guns that he bought online, tagged some IG users, you know, had some conversations, and basically the main takeaway was, at least from what I saw, you know, he said something like, wait until tomorrow, right? He goes to the school and he, you know, does what he does. And upon it, he basically tells some of the kids, this is from what one of the kids said in an interview, like he says, you know, it's time to die, and starts killing all the kids. And more and more stories are coming out, right? Like you said, evidently the police that were there, they delayed going in to, you know, to deal with what was happening for whatever reason. I don't know why. But then I find out that there was an off-duty officer or someone actually went in ahead of the police to try to fight off the gunman. But whatnot, and that's how the gunman ended up dying.
Wow.
While the police were waiting for, I guess, you know, specialized equipment or the correct task force or what have you, someone went in there and just took matters into their own hands.
That's scary
to fight off this kid,
right?
Right. Yeah.
Scary all sorts of fronts.
Exactly. So that's when that came out, when that was made public knowledge, that the police like kind of waited, and you were talking about, you alluded to the investigation as to why they didn't immediately go to confront the shooter. I mean, so many questions, right? Because you hear about who are they quick to shoot? People who look like you and me, right? For whatever reason. you're a perceived threat or what have you, right?
You're targeted,
dead, quick, targeted, right? But for whatever reason, this young man, they decided that they needed to wait. I don't know, we don't know why, right?
Yeah, it's tough. And I mean, you hear the typical thoughts and prayers and all this nonsense, and it's like no one's really willing to make those sacrifices to say, hey, like, and the NRA convention happened like later that week, in which Chair President talked about it.
You had people out there talking about like, taking away the guns isn't going to help, and we should arm the teachers too, and
no, which is the dumbest thing ever.
More guns? Is that really the
stupidest thing ever? And it's like the only people that are happy about this are like Remington and like the gun makers. Like, yeah, arm the teachers, arm everyone. Like, it's the dumbest. It's truly one of the dumbest things. And the fact of the matter is, like, what needs to happen. And I want to tell a little bit story. It's a little bit too off base, but look, let's face it. We're not going to convince these guys to some of these people of stronger gun legislation. Like, we can barely convince these guys to wear a mask, right? Like, that was too much, right? So stronger gun legislation is like that. We're not gonna add. We can't do that. They can't even wear a mask. So, I mean, you're just gonna have to just make the law and try to keep it there, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like with healthcare law, right? Like.
Something drastic is going to have to be passed.
Yeah, like someone's going to have to pass it. You're going to have to just keep it there as long as possible, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's amazing how they show the graphic of when they let the assault rifle ban expire, and just like the number of mass shootings exponentially increase. It's really frustrating because like we're like, it's America.
Let's talk about that, right?
Yeah.
So I own a gun.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe in the right to bear arms. I do believe that, but if somebody was to ask me like, why did you buy a gun? Why do you have a gun? I keep it on my property, right? So if someone for whatever reason was to come into my home, try to do something to me or my family, yes. You know what I mean? The guns are coming out. Do I believe that I need to be able to carry a gun wherever I go? No. Right? I don't believe in that. I don't believe in this whole like concealed weapons, and if I go to a concert, I have my gun on me just in case. If I go to a football game, I have my gun on me just in case. Like, I don't believe in that. I believe in protecting me and my own and my family, like my property. It's about defending your property where you stay at. You know what I mean? I believe that like if taking guns to all these public places and stuff isn't necessary. More guns doesn't mean more safety. I just don't think that's right.
It doesn't make sense. Number one. You're not arguing logic here, right? Like you can't with these people. You can't argue logic. Again, these guys don't want to wear a mask during a pandemic. You're not. There's no logic to be had here. So,
but even if they don't, even if you, I'm not even trying to like equate the two, right? Like wearing a mask versus having a gun. To me, it's just like these people who feel like they the whole like right to bear arms. For me, like if you look at the Second Amendment, it says a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. I mean, this is in case like you're being invaded or like you have to like really like do something to defend yourself, right? This isn't just rolling down the street.
No.
BK talking about my freedom. But this isn't just like rolling to the gas station. If somebody says the wrong thing, I have the right to use my gun because I was threatened by him. Maybe you shouldn't have done whatever you're doing to get into that situation. Maybe you should try to diffuse the situation and walk away, because then that person also walks away and you walk away, right? That's what we should be thinking about. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so I'm gonna take a minute real quick. I'm gonna go down. I printed off like a timeline of gun amendments, right?
Yeah, I do want to add something super quick to that to go to, in the sense that, you know, again, you're arguing logic. Like what you're saying makes
that's what's
sense.
Necessary, though. That's
what you're saying makes sense, right?
Right.
But just like
you know, if you're not in the National Guard, if you're not military or whatever, if you're just a regular person like me and you and maybe some of the people who are watching the podcast, why do you need a machine gun? Again, what you need an AR-15 for?
Yeah.
What do you need it for? What do you need an assault weapon for?
Makes
like sense. These are the type of things, like, just ban that shit. What do you need it for? Honestly, what do you need it for?
Yeah.
If you want to go and like shoot big guns or whatever, go to the range, rent something out, shoot it, get your rocks off, whatever, and then go home. Yeah. What do you need to have it for? You don't need it. There's no reason for it. Yeah. If you're big game hunting, do you need a machine gun? No, right? You don't need that shit. You're really just buying stuff to hurt people. That's all it's for. You don't need it. You don't need it.
Yeah, no, you know, you're absolutely right. And like I said,
ban the assault weapons. Yes, I'm saying it. Ban it. You don't need it.
Yeah, no, I'm 1,000% with you on this one, right? In the sense that it's BK. Oh, by the way, BK, what up, man? Yes, sir. Own 3, my freedom.
I'm with you. Own your guns, man. But if you're not defending your property, your home, and family, what do you need it for?
Yeah, right? I mean, and they also made this law like around wartime, right? Declaration of Independence was like
they were fucking fresh from the running war. A revolution.
Yeah, it was fresh from the war.
Yes, right? They're going to talk about, hey, we need people to have guns because the British are coming. I mean, that's a direct quote.
Yeah, I mean, and then there weren't like assault rifles, like, or high-powered
fucking muskets.
At the time. Yeah, exactly. Like, you shot and then you have to reload again. Then you shot again.
You got to plunge that joint back in the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My God.
No, you're absolutely right. Like, I mean, but my thing though too is, again, like, everything you're saying makes perfect sense. Is that we're not going to reach these people that, you know, you're just going to have to, instead of convincing people to make action, what it is that we need to convince enough people. There's always going to be that section. Like, again, the pandemic really opened my eyes to, like, these just people are just fucking, they just hate us for the sake of this being, you just want to be contrarian for the sake of being contrarian, even if it makes sense. Like, wearing a fucking mask during the height of the pandemic made sense. Couldn't do it. Can't do it. Right. So,
yeah. Well, you know, we're talking about convincing enough people, right?
Yeah.
Research has shown that the majority of Americans back things such as background checks,
improved background checks, yeah.
And yet, at least according to Steve Kerr, what he was saying, I don't know if you saw what he said.
Yeah.
Before the game, you know, not too long ago, he was talking about a piece of legislation called HR 8, which is something for comprehensive background checks.
Yeah.
And basically, the HR 8 has just been sitting there for at least since 2021, if not earlier. I'm sorry, 2019.
Yeah.
Right? Where basically they're talking about these background checks. And it said, and I printed off something from Newsweek, right, where it's talking about HR 8. So it's basically saying, you know, in December 21, Senator Chris Murphy, and if you don't know who that is a senator who not too long ago was on the floor of Congress, basically begging his colleagues to get on it for passing some sort of legislation, right, to make it harder to purchase guns, because this kid bought these guns for his 18th birthday. Bought these guns for his 18th birthday, right? So they have yet to vote on this bill, which has been around since at least 2019. And they've been debating it or whatever, but They haven't voted on it yet. I don't know why, right?
They're not going
and
to.
I'm not. Go ahead.
Well, they're not going to. It's the same reason why Mitch McConnell, who hates Donald Trump, but voted twice not to impeach him. Right?
Yeah, everything's along party lines.
Voted twice not to impeach him because they don't want to anger the stupid people that they support, right? That support them for some reason.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a reason why freaking Ted Cruz fillets himself over Trump supporters. The guy
I can't talk about Ted Cruz, man. I'm sorry.
Fuck that guy.
I can't talk about him.
Like that. I mean, yeah.
And it's not like background checks are the end all be all, right?
Yeah.
Just because you have background checks on people who try to buy guns, like that doesn't mean that people aren't going to buy like guns illegal or whatever. Because even with all the laws that we're talking about, you can go to the hood and buy whatever gun you want.
Yeah.
Right. Go right on down to the hood or whatever. Right. But there is no perfect answer. And so we shouldn't be looking for the perfect answer. We should be looking to build up to the correct solution. If that means more invasive background checks, I'm all for it. Because as far as I'm concerned, at this point, to me, it seems like, buying a gun should pretty much be like getting cleared to work for the government, right? When someone goes to work in some positions, you have to go through a pretty invasive process to get cleared to work for that position. To me, it should be the same for buying a gun, right? I need to check, hey, let me see what you've been posting on the gram. Yeah. Right? You've been talking that stuff, how all black people need to die or whatever. Nah, fam.
Pause.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You're out of there.
Actually, fucking call the police.
You've been involved in whatever, like, nah. You know what I mean? Like it should, at this point, I feel like it should be the same thing, like, because people end up getting stuff that they shouldn't be, right? So, and the shoot again, there's a member of the shooter's family. He's a felon, right? So it was like, he was like, I don't know how he got it, because
maybe he got your advice.
Can't have it in that, you can't have it in the house with me, right? Because I'm a convicted felon. So to me, if you're a gun dealer, I mean, why are you selling AR-15 to an 18-year-old kid?
It's a joke.
Yeah, these are questions. These are questions I have. How is this kid getting this?
Everything you're saying, what frustrates me, what you're saying is like everything you're saying makes sense, but to these people that like they will find some way. Oh, it's mental health. Oh, it's this. Like one of the things that's frustrating is that they'll complain about, oh, it's mental health, but they'll put no money towards mental health.
Oh man, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear mental health. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear.
They're like, oh, it's mental health. Oh, it's evil. People are evil. I also want to point out too, tougher background checks, right? Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to end all, shootings, right? Per se.
It's not.
I mean, just like seatbelt laws doesn't necessarily mean all lives are saved, or the fact that we have, laws for drinking.
I mean, just like the vaccine doesn't automatically mean, just like the vaccine doesn't automatically mean that you're not going to get COVID-19.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, or the flu vaccine doesn't mean you're not going to get the flu.
Yeah, it lowers your chances, right? Or for example, like drinking and driving laws, right? DUIs and laws, right? Doesn't, just because we have them doesn't mean someone's stupid enough that's not going to try it. The point is that there's a law that's in place that's going to reduce the probability of it, right? And again, what we're talking about is logic, and we're not going to convince these people of logic. What we need to do is we need to break the money. We need enough people to have enough guts to say like, hey, you know what, this enough's enough, right?
You got to get that. You got to get the NRA's clause out of these people, man. Because that's part of it too. I mean, you have an organization. I mean, their pockets are deep.
They are very deep.
And you have people who, hey, you piss off the NRA, I know I'm not going to get elected.
Oh yeah, no. Donald Trump literally said on one time that, oh yeah, maybe we should just take people because the guy is very, he's very, I forgot the word I'm telling you. He's very blunt, right? And he one of the things that's his appeal to these people, right? The fact that he's blunt and he just kind of speaks whatever comes out of his brain without really thinking. Very impulsive. I think that's the word I was looking for. He literally said like, "Oh, yeah, I think we should take people's guns away," right? And then the NRA had to whisper in his ear, like, "No, we don't want to do that." Like, and he was like, "Oh yeah, never mind. Whoops. Yeah, very very strong Second Amendment person here. Yeah."
I mean, if you ask me, I mean, that's another thing is like, if you're increase the age at which you can purchase a firearm too, like, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you got to do something to make some of this stuff harder to get for these kids.
It's all about making it harder. It's all about, I mean, it's about accountability, and they don't want to hold anyone accountable, which is ridiculous, which is hilarious because in Florida they made a law to like that targeted Muslims. I think. Don't quote me on that one. I remember hearing about it. I don't know if it's even in effect. But it's just a joke. And again, I think we've talked about it on the show, right? The NRA was okay with the registration when the Black Panthers and Black nationalism was a thing back during the
God forbid those people get guns, right?
Oh yeah, right. That. Like fucking Malcolm X was the only person that needed an assault rifle, to be honest with you. And it didn't really help him in the end. So
hey, I don't know if you've seen the picture. That goddamn sure had one.
Yeah, that was a very classic one, right? Him like looking at his out the window with an assault rifle in his hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very classic picture. It didn't help him in the end. So that's
absolutely not.
So like
I want to take you to the timeline of some gun legislation.
Yes, please.
So like I was saying before, 1791. 10 amendments to the U.S. Constitution, eventually known as the Bill of Rights, were ratified. The Second Amendment is the one that we all know and love about the right to keep and bear arms. 1934. This is the first piece of national gun control legislation that was passed on June 26th of that year. The National Firearms Act, part of President FDR's New Deal for Crime, was meant to curtail gangland crimes, such as the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. So it imposed a tax on the manufacture, sale, and transport of firearms that were specifically listed in the law. So short barrel shotguns and rifles, machine guns, firearm mufflers, and silencers. So this law ends up being modified several times. Basically to, I think they were trying to like reduce the tax. So the tax was $200, which was a lot. Yeah. For the 30s, like a lot, right? 1938. So this is the Federal Firearms Act of 1938, required gun manufacturers, importers, and dealers to obtain a federal firearms license. And now at this point, they want you to be a licensed firearm dealer. Right. And also, this was a law that defined a group of people who could not purchase firearms. That included convicted felons. So they could not buy firearms. All right. 1939. This is the U.S. Supreme Court. This is when the U.S. Supreme Court heard the case of United States versus Miller, ruling that through the National Firearms Act of 1934, Congress could regulate the interstate selling of the short barrel shotgun. So they were saying that the court was saying that there was no evidence that a sawed-off shotgun has any reasonable relationship to the preservation or efficiency of a well-regulated militia. And thus, we cannot say that the Second Amendment guarantees the right to keep and bear such an instrument. So this is where you're getting into the government basically saying what types of firearms you can have, right? Because it wasn't specified in the amendment. So they're trying to restrict the types of firearms that you can have, which they need to have come back today, right? These machine guns and everything, right? So 1968. So this is after the assassinations of President JFK, Robert F. Kennedy, Dr. Martin Luther King. President Lyndon B. Johnson pushed for the passage of the Gun Control Act. So this act repealed and replaced the Federal Firearms Act of 1938 and updated Title II of the NFA to fix constitutional issues and adding language about destructive devices such as bombs, mines, and grenades, and expanded the definition of machine guns. So overall, the bill banned importing guns that had no sporting purpose and imposed age restrictions for the purchase of handguns. You had to be 21. Mm-hmm. It also prohibited felons, the mentally ill, and others from purchasing guns, and required that all manufactured or imported guns have a serial number. So this is where you get the serial number piece at. And according to the ATF, imposed stricter licensing and regulation on the firearms industry. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty important because, again, they're still talking about restricting the type of gun you can have. So these are guns that have no sporting purpose, right? Do AR-15s have any sporting purpose? I think not. Okay.
I'm sure there's a sport for AR-15s out there. Like, so for everything, but yeah.
Oh, of course. 1986, the Firearm Owners Protection Act was passed by Congress. Mm-hmm. So this enacted protections for gun owners, prohibited a national registry of dealer records, limiting ATF inspections to once a year, and softened what was defined as engaging in the business of selling firearms, allowing licensed dealers to sell firearms at gun shows in their state. So kind of soften things up a little bit. This bill also codified some gun control measures, including expanding the GCA to prohibit civilian ownership or transfer of machine guns made after May 19th, 1986. They're still prohibiting machine guns, or trying to do that. So 1993, the Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act of 1993 is named after White House Press Secretary James Brady, who was disabled from an injury suffered during an attempt to assassinate President Reagan.
Yep, I remember that one.
Signed into law by Bill Clinton, this law again amends the GCA and requires that background checks be completed before a gun is purchased from a licensed dealer, manufacturer, or importer. So for the record, when I went to buy my gun, I did have to complete a background check. You give them your information. You basically can't take ownership of the gun until they've completed the background check. This law established the National Instant Criminal Background Check System, NICS, which is maintained by the FBI. Right? 1994. This is the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act, again signed by President Clinton. Mm-hmm. This is known as the assault weapons ban, a temporary prohibition in effect from September of 1994 to September 2004. Multiple attempts to renew the ban have failed.
Yes.
The provisions of the bill outlawed the ability to manufacture, transfer, or possess a semi-automatic assault weapon unless it's lawfully possessed under federal law on the date of the enactment of the subsection of this bill. So 19 military-style or copycat assault weapons, including AR-15s, Tech-9s, MAC-10s, etc., could not be manufactured or sold. It also banned certain high-capacity ammunition magazines of more than 10 rounds. Right? So they're trying. You see them trying or whatever. 2003, this is the, I don't know how to say it, TIAHRT, I guess, Tart Amendment, proposed by Todd Tart, as a Republican from Kansas, prohibited the ATF from publicly releasing data showing where criminals purchased their firearms and stipulated that only law enforcement officers or prosecutors could access such information. So basically, they're trying to shield retailers from lawsuits, academic study, and public scrutiny, right? Because you don't want to be made public that you sold a gun to that caused whatever crime.
Yeah.
There have been efforts to repeal that particular amendment. Okay, 2005, and there's only 2005. At least for what I have here, this is the there's only 2 left. So 2005.
Yep.
The Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act, signed by President George W. Bush, to prevent gun manufacturers from being named in federal or state civil suits. So again, protecting gun manufacturers. So the first position of the law is to prohibit causes of action against manufacturers, distributors, dealers, and importers of firearms or ammunition, yada, yada, yada. So they're basically protecting the people who sold it. Yeah. It also dismissed pending cases on October 26, 2005. Right. So 2008, District of Columbia versus Heller changed a nearly 7-year precedent set by Miller in 1939. So let's see. I think I mentioned the Miller ruling from 1939. Yeah. So in 1939, we had the United States versus Miller ruling that through the National Firearms Act of 1934, Congress could regulate the interstate selling of a short barrel shotgun. Basically, they're saying that because there's no evidence of that type of gun having any relationship to the preservation or efficiency of a militia, you can't say that the Second Amendment guarantees your right to keep that type of gun. So they're talking about the type of gun that the Second Amendment says that you can have. Mm-hmm. This finding pretty much changed what the result of that ruling, the Miller ruling. Mm-hmm. So, let's see. Basically focusing on the individual right to possess a firearm unconnected with service in a militia. So Heller changed the Columbia versus Heller challenged the constitutionality of a 32-year-old handgun ban in Washington, D.C., and found the handgun ban and trigger lock requirement violated the Second Amendment. I don't know how. The Second Amendment is only talking about your right to bear arms, right?
Yeah. So
I don't see how the requirement to have trigger locks violates that amendment. I don't get that. Mm-hmm. But that ruling also said that ruling also restricted the type of guns you could have. And so under that law, the DC area had banned handguns, right? So this one is saying that, hey, the banning of certain guns is unconstitutional now. And then it says that this finding did not nullify other gun control provisions. So it says that the court's opinion should not be taken to cast doubt on longstanding prohibitions on the possession of firearms by felons and the mentally ill. So they're still saying that that's against the law for felons and the mentally ill to have guns, or laws forbidding the carrying of firearms in sensitive places, such as schools and government buildings, or laws imposing conditions of qualification on commercial sale of arms. So I'm taking you up to 2008. You saw some flip-flop a little bit, but it looks like they've had some provisions to kind of restrict you on the types of laws that you can have. Mm-hmm. But in my opinion, it looks like it needs to be revisited, honestly. I mean, I still, like I said before, I don't see why regular people need machine gun, AR-15s and semi-automatics and extended clips and all this crazy stuff, right? Why? What do you need it for?
Yeah.
Right.
Again, everything. And also what you do, and also next time, I'm sure you got links to everything you read about. Ping them to me ahead of time so I can put them in our description so people can
once this is finished, I'm gonna go back and add it to the YouTube channel or whatever, so y'all can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like again, everything you said makes sense. It's just
I
like
love how we keep saying again, right? Like it's just like, why is it
again.
so hard?
Yeah,
Why is it
why
so
is this
hard?
hard? It's because people suck. That's why it's hard. um, like I so it reminds me of the story a little bit here, a little bit off topic, but it kind of makes sense of like where the problems are and who the anchors of the society that's kind of keeping this going. Um, do you? I don't know if you ever got a chance to look at that link I sent you in our targeted podcast about it was a Facebook link about a church right in Texas, I believe. Actually, go figure. So I'll tell you the story, right? And I'll
This
try
is
to be
about the guy that had an affair with the 16-year-old girl.
yes, yes,
Don't get me started on that.
yes. Well, here's the thing. So yeah, I'll make it super quickly. So they recorded this in a Texas church, right? The guy comes forward, says he has an affair, right? And that he's asked for forgiveness, and I've sinned against my family. I've done this for a long time, blah. Please forgive me. And as per church orders, I'm stepping down, after X and Y years, right? Then the woman comes up, right?
She yells it from the freaking crowd. I was 16.
Well, hold on. She did you see the video or no? You got
Dude, I know I didn't have to see the video. I've been reading about the story.
So what happened was she came up and talked, right?
Yes.
One woman spoke, right? And she was like, well, I was in the cage for X amount of years, not like 26 years, not 20 years, and like how she was what the part that he didn't mention in his forgiveness speech was that she was 16 years old and he took her virginity, right? He took her virginity, right? I think she got a purity ring from like the church that this is happening, right? And it's and then he tried to like stop the shit, right? And he was like, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, what are you doing this for X, Y, Z? She's like, no, you're not like switching the story. And people actually tried to stop her from speaking, right?
Yeah.
So after she finished speaking, like her husband actually was like, look, you can take this shit back, like this church, like you're gonna be judged by God or whatever. This church needs to stop hiding behind the lies or whatever, right? So they started walking away, and they had a couple of supporters here. They had a couple of hugs, whatever. And then the guy, then it was like some silence, and then like some of like the people there were like rightfully so were angry, and they were like, "Well, we need to hear from the pastor, right? She was only 16. Is it true?" That's what they kept asking. Is it true? She was only 16, right? And the guy goes eventually like, "Yeah, it's true. It's happened for a long time, that's why I'm going by these laws, whatever." I mean, she pointed out, she was like if she had come forward, the guy would be in jail. And he should be in jail, to be honest with you. But like he came out and he said, oh yeah, so yeah, that's what happened. It's true. She was 16, was having for too long. That's why I'm asking for your forgiveness. And that's why, stepping down or whatever, right? And some lady is like, yeah, we love you, preacher. And I was like, what the fuck? And then like at the end of the video, like all these like people like came up to like hug the guy, like they this huge hug circle, right, to like kind of give this guy like forgiveness or some shit, like forgive him some shit. These are the type of people that we're trying to convince to like to put stricter gun laws. You can't. There's no logic here. There's none, right? They hate.
Well, I mean, I think that's a generalization. You don't know how all.
I will fucking. Usually, you know what? You're right here in the sense that you get in trouble when you generalize, right? But you know what?
Yes.
I'm actually okay with this one. I'm gonna go ahead and say that these guys are. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Like these guys are probably all Trump supporters. They're probably all pro-gun people, and they follow the same logic, which is they don't have logic. So I mean, I'm saying it right there. I'm not no.
With that story though, and it's disgusting what he did, right? Because you're supposed to be a man of God.
Well, it's disgusting that they fucking forgave him. Like they went up to hug him afterwards.
Also, disgusting, probably worse. So they're
Yeah,
like under
it's
some
like,
sort of
oh, okay,
spell.
we forgive you. Like,
But did he rape her? Like, I kind of need more. I need to understand how that went on for 7 years or however long, how many years, right? Like,
well, I don't need to know how
I
long.
need to. I just like.
I don't need to know how much longer. She was fucking 16. You're a fucking grown ass man.
I need to know. I need to
Bro,
know
if a
how that
16-year-old came on to
even like
you,
comes to pass. I'm
like,
walking away. I'm running away.
yeah, I
Get
mean, a
the hell away
16-year-old
from me, right?
fucking comes on to you. You're a grown ass man. You know?
Exactly. Go back to your dad. Go to school.
Fuck out of here. Like,
but yeah.
I mean, they tried to blame it
I had a
on
lot
her
when I
getting
saw
counseling, on her getting counseling too, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I had a lot of guys counseling.
I had a lot of questions because I immediately thought, I mean, this dude must have raped this poor girl. Like, what on earth? And it was like he took her virginity. I'm just like, what kind of sick bastard does this shit?
It shows the type of power he has in that church.
Yes,
right?
yes,
The fact that you can do that shit, right? Essentially admit it, right?
And have somebody come up and hug you, talking about,
and then people are like, "We love you, preacher," and like hug you. It's like, "Oh yeah, he sounds like he's forgiving." It's like, it shows the type of power that he has in that church. So it's just super frustrating. Oh, my boy Milton Beelan, high school boy, man, what's up, man? Hola, my boy Milton Beelan.
Well, tell him to put a comment. Guy's been watching silently.
Thanks for supporting, man. No, thanks for supporting. Yeah, no. I knew this guy years ago, back in high school.
That's what's up.
Was what was it? We were in band together. He ended up going to like the Air Force. So yeah, no, it's good to see you, man. Yeah, so yeah, what's the it just shows the type of power the guy had in his
scary.
His church, right? The fact that he can do that and get away with it and nothing, and pretty much not hold himself accountable, right? His accountability is, oh, I asked for your forgiveness. That's his accountability right there, right?
Yep.
Which is just total fucking stupid shit. And it just shows, it just really shows how these guys are just fucked up in the brain. And I can't, you can't reason with this. You can't reason with this, man. So
as long as they can have their guns, man.
Yeah.
I never forget, the first
time. I'm generalizing. I'm putting them all in the same box. All of you guys.
I can't do that. Yeah, that's all you. I can't.
I'm doing that shit. I'm like, all you motherfuckers are in the same box. All you motherfuckers. I can't do that. I will.
We're all individuals.
Cancel me in 10 years, please. I'll be fine with that.
Don't run for office.
For that shit.
But you know what tripped me out, man? Like, the first time I went to the gun range, and I'm in there like, well, this was like I was getting like trained up, like because I had a fear of guns, right? Like I just like somebody showed me a gun like some years ago, whatever, because he was like a security officer or something like that, and I just remember like hands trembling, like take the bullets out, take everything out, and hands still trembling. I'm scared or whatever. So me going to the gun range was really my attempt to kind of like get over my fear of guns and get an understanding of how they worked and, just get over it a little bit. And I remember being in there. I mean, it was people in there with some crazy looking stuff. I mean, just cannons, just crazy stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, why? What do you need it for?
Yeah.
What do you need it for, man? You know what I mean? Why?
They have small penises, Nicholas. That's what it is. That's the why.
I don't even know what to say to that. But you see people walking there with these big guns like that, and they're just like, to me, it's one thing to go there and try maybe like to rent something or, hey, I want to shoot whatever just to satisfy whatever urge that you have. But to buy it and then to be of the mindset that you need to be able to take it wherever you want to take it and do all this other stuff. I just don't get it. I really don't get it, man.
Not gonna get it because you with logic.
And the people that are like, self-defense, it's like, dude, it's not.
You're not gonna get it because you're thinking logically, right?
if we get in an altercation and you point the tiniest, if you point a 22 at me, I'm running away. Right? It's a gun. The gun is a gun.
Make sure you run in zigzags.
Well, yeah, don't do like the kid in Game of Thrones or whatever, where he just like ran in a straight line.
Recon.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
What he should have done was just run backwards. Think about it, right? Right? You'll see it coming.
But yeah. It's just one of the things. I throw my hands up. I look at the laws. I look at how they've like gone back and forth and kind of blown the Second Amendment out of proportion.
Oh right? Yeah.
And I look at how they started off with what kind of seems like good intentions, because they were trying to say, hey, this gun has nothing to do with whatever the quote was. Like, it has nothing to do with protecting yourself or whatever. Like, it's just a big ass gun that you don't need.
No. Makes you feel better about yourself. That's what it's for. So, I mean, we can go back and forth about this. Nothing's going to be done, and there'll probably be another one later this year or next year or something. And it's just that's the unfortunate sad aspect of this, right? We'll have this conversation yet again in the future, because we've had it in the past, and we'll have it again. But
that's the other thing. I mean, we're going to have it again, right? And there was a reporter basically saying, talking about the cycle, right? You have one of these events, and what does everybody want to do? Oh, our prayers are with
thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers, right? Yeah. And then, the Republicans, throwing out their prayers or whatever, but then it's just like, but we're going to loosen up this gun law.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. We're not
going to do anything. We're not going to restrict anything. Yeah, we're just going to keep it moving. Thanks. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Like, no, we need a little bit more. And I'm hoping that the public at large will kind of pressure the lawmakers to do something at this point. I mean, hopefully they'll do something.
My boy Milton actually just pointed out something pretty good, where it's like most of the time you'll never have the opportunity to protect yourself with a gun. Criminals usually don't announce themselves before they attack.
Great point.
Again, we're fighting this with logic, right? It makes sense. That's why we're never going to do anything about it, because it makes too much sense, right?
I remember going to an NCAA game and this dude had like fucking pistol in the back of his pants. Bro, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, no. I mean, these guys, what they want really is like everything's going to turn out to like, the good, the bad, the ugly. One of those Wild West movies, or Clint Eastwood movies when like everyone's just walking around with a gun. And we're gonna have to get our little kids to like get the little mini 6-shooters, like walking to class, and never know when a fucking shooter comes to your school. Why stop arming the teachers? Why not arm the kids too? Let's arm the janitors. Let's arm everybody, right? Because that makes sense.
Well, fam, and so, as soon as you do stuff like that, then we're gonna get to who they perceive as a threat. And who was the first person that they're going to perceive as a threat?
Brown people.
Somebody that looks like me or you. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Brown people.
So.
Yeah. Well, we beat this with, a stick, a lot of it. And you know what? We will probably, We'll talk about this again in the future, because we just can't help it. We can't get away our fascination with guns, right? And these guys want to blame everything to movies, to mental health, to everything, right?
Yeah.
Not just do what has to be done to protect the kids. I mean, they'll say I protect the kids. We gotta ban abortion, but ban guns, right? It's about control. It really is about control, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I even feel like if I think did I show you the video with the woman in Michigan, like the white woman in Michigan pulling a gun on a black woman, right? This happened like years ago, and it just showed that she just wanted to control the situation, right? And like the woman was getting in her face, and she felt intimidated, so she pulled out a gun, right? And it shows about control, about just wanting control of people's bodies, right? It really is a culture war, and we just gonna have to. I mean, the people who are against it need to be able to step up and be like, hey, you know what? We got to fight this fight. So, yeah. It's a little past 9. Let's go ahead and talk about something more interesting.
Let's change the subject.
Change the subject. A hard pivot from the last almost an hour of conversation. Have you been able to watch both episodes of
Of course. You don't even have to say it. Yes.
Okay. By the way, to the world that's watching, right? Nicholas Lewis is our Star Wars expert. You are. You're the Star Wars expert. You're the guy, right?
I just want to see.
He's the guy that goes to Comic-Con.
Yes, I am the person that goes to Comic-Con. I just want the material to be respected. And Luke Skywalker deserves
Star Wars police.
Right now.
Let me ask you this from your perspective.
Preface the entire conversation with Luke Skywalker deserves his own show. Effing do it. Do it.
Listen.
Effing do it. I don't want to hear this crap about who you're not going to recast.
Nicholas Lewis.
Freaking do it. That's what everybody wants to see.
Nicholas Lewis, my friend, my pal. Let me be the one to tell you. They will not do a Luke Skywalker episode. They will not do it. I am convinced. After what was the Mandalorian? It was Book of Boba Fett, like the second to last season. I am convinced they're not going to do it because they're not willing to recast him, right? And they're not willing to fuck him up. Because kind of how they try to start some new shit with like the last 3 Star Wars movies, 9, 10, 11, or whatever, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and
7, 8, 9. But nobody told them they messed up the movies.
Oh yeah,
right. This whole thing about
they're not willing to do that. They'd rather put him in like in a small cameo thing where they can't fuck it up, right? Because the people like you, the Star Wars guys, is going to judge him, right? When they up
That's my
like
job.
Skywalkers.
That's literally my job. Yes, it's my job to judge it, and if you do a shitty job, it's my job to tell you about it. Yes. The Last Jedi was shit. The Rise of Skywalker. Well, you killed all the Skywalker. There are no Skywalker.
Ray's a Skywalker now.
That's a lie.
Ray is
not a Skywalker. I will never accept her as a Skywalker. She's not a Skywalker.
No, but she identifies as a Skywalker.
F that character, by the way. F that character. I don't even like Ray. F that character. She needs to die. How about that? Okay. I'm sure the actress is a lovely woman, but the character is crap. Anyways.
Oh my god. Yeah, they're not doing it. They're not doing a Luke. They need
to do it. No. And they know. They already know. What's funny is that every time they do this deep fake Luke like cameo, they know what they're doing. They know that the series needs a shot in the arm because the Boba Fett series was trash. Okay, it was horrible.
I wouldn't say it was horrible, but it was just not entertaining.
It was horrible. Okay,
it was not entertaining
because it was a retread of something that nobody cared about. Nobody cares about his backstory.
No,
nobody.
Really, you're absolutely right. Why does this guy have to get to come back alive from the dead? Right? Like, how does that happen?
They should have skipped him and went straight to Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah,
these are characters people care about. Disney.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about Boba Fett.
Yeah.
He should have been a cameo guy. He's a cameo guy.
You know what's so funny about that too? It was like that series got better when you saw Mandalorian and you saw
Luke Skywalker
with Ahsoka. That's when the series was like, oh, this is great now. Like this the series was it for me. A lot of the ways. I think the first train scene was pretty solid, but like
I mean, so they have some nice cinematography. Again, wow.
Yeah, it has some good cinematography. Right?
Now,
yeah, don't care.
I'm finished. I'm finished complaining.
Yeah, let's talk about like Obi-Wan.
I want to say this.
Our Star Wars expert here.
This. I want to say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think they got one with this series here.
Really? Okay.
I think they got one.
Okay.
I think they got one.
Yeah.
This was honestly when this was announced. Again, I said to myself, "Who cares?"
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Then I saw the trailer. I said, okay.
Well, I wasn't in the trailer, but okay. Go ahead.
So then I watched episode 1.
Yeah.
And for a lot of these like Disney Plus Star Wars series, it started off a little slow. It took a while for me to get into it. With this series, I was immediately into it. I was immediately like, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
Because you got introduced to the Inquisitors, which we're familiar with from the Clone Wars. Even if you're not familiar with who they are, you're setting up the big bad like early, right? This is a force to be reckoned with. You know why? Early on in the show, you have him basically, he's having nightmares, flashbacks from the prequels. And so a lot of people are, more familiar with the prequels than they are with, the legends or non-canonical stuff or stuff, stuff that a Star Wars fan would care about. But they know the prequels. They know what happened with Obi-Wan Kenobi. They know he's the guy who, handicapped Anakin Skywalker, pretty much, killed him and made him take on like the Darth Vader persona, like full on, right? So with that, with the flashbacks, I think that helped get a lot of people it really set the tone of the show and really get people, okay, yeah, that is what happened. You know what I mean? It kind of set the tone for everything. And you see he's not the same guy anymore, right? And there's a quote, I think somebody said they were going to give it kind of like the Logan treatment a little bit. And you can see that a little bit, right?
I'm happy you pointed that out. I'm very happy you pointed that out. So that's a great point there. Because I wasn't as excited for this series, and I'm still a little on it. I will say this: so the first 2 episodes, especially the first episode, the first part of it, where they were showing the attack on the Jedi like headquarters and whatnot, right? It was good. It was really good. Like, even though they've replayed that many times now in so many different areas, you saw it within the not in the Mandalorian, but in the I already forgot the guy's name. Book of Boba Fett series with Grogu. They showed it from his perspective. They show it in so many different perspectives. You show it in like Star Wars, Clone Wars perspective, right? You saw it there. You've seen it so many times, right? And it's interesting because it shows a fresh perspective every time. And one thing I thought that really caught me was that it was a single shot. It was a great single shot series. So it showed at the series started at the beginning, right? With the woman, a Jedi, like training like a bunch of like Jedi younglings, or what they call them.
Yep, younglings.
Is that what they call them? Okay, fine. So what happens is that like an explosion happens, and like the second like they leave the room, right? Check that series out again too, and you actually see like the third sister like there, I think, as well as one of the younglings as well.
It's a theory.
It's a theory. We're not sure, right? But we think, we saw a little black girl there, and think her was a black girl.
All of us look alike.
Yeah, we all look alike. Yeah. But it was a single shot though. It was a single shot, right? The second they left that door, watch it again, right? Like you see like her fighting off clone like troopers like down the hall, and they make her like a right towards like the bridge, and she tried to like stop them off, and she just couldn't do it, right? And they end up running away, and I was like, that was a crazy good scene. When he met up finally with Leia, right? You nailed it right in the head too. So this format of this series that's happening is something that we've seen plenty of times before, right? And even though it's been rehashed so many times, it works, right? So Logan is a good example. This also reminds me of, have you seen the second season of The Punisher? Right?
Yeah.
Same scenario, right? You have this disgruntled, kind of older, usually disgruntled older guy.
Something who's traumatized.
Someone who's the traumatized, disgruntled older person protecting normally a younger, usually female, right? A young woman. The Last of Us, the first part, Last of Us, same exact thing, right? To the T. What other movies? Logan, we talked about Logan. The Last of Us is a video game. The Punisher, Terminator. Yes, there's so many series. Oh, also The Mandalorian. Same scenario. Exactly the same thing, right? Exactly the same thing, right? You have this older guy helping usually a kid or a female, right? Or younger kid or a female, right? And kind of keeping this person safe. The only thing that makes this one a little bit different is that normally people are after like the young kid or female or what character, right? But this time they're actually after Obi-Wan, and they actually use the kid to like call her out as well. Also, Star Wars Bad Batch, very similar situation, right? It's this time a group of people helping a young clone, right? So it's a rehash story point that I'm actually not tired of. I'm actually not tired of.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I'm not tired.
I mean, I think it works here though. This is the one thing. It works, but young Leia started getting on my nerves, bro.
Well, that's the point. They're supposed to be a little bit outspoken, and
I understand you're outspoken. I understand, you're not the damsel. I mean, that's great. This kid is like, I don't know, maybe she's 6 or 7. All I know is when I run after, I have young kids, you know what I mean, in my life. When I have friends with young kids, I have young kids. When I'm chasing a young kid, you know how quickly I catch them? In about 2 seconds. Okay. That kid is clearly not fast. Okay, I saw her running. I was like, why aren't y'all catching her? Like, let's not act like this kid is like really like juking y'all out like that. I mean, that's one. And then there were some points where I was like, I guess you're trying to play it up. I mean, that you see some of Princess Leia's traits that she's eventually going to have later in life.
Yeah.
And they're trying to show that in her younger self.
Yeah.
I feel like they're trying a little too hard with that. It kind of threw me off a little. It kind of threw me off a little bit. Like, it was almost likened her to young Anakin. Remember young Anakin in Phantom Menace?
Yeah.
Was he not annoying as hell? Right? Was he not annoying?
That whole story point was
like
annoying.
When he was talking, I was just like, just shut up. Sometimes I was just like, young kid like that. I mean, she was doing a little too much.
Think
just
so?
A little much. That's my only gripe. And this, at this point, I'm being picky, right? But that's my only, you know what I'm saying?
That's fair. No, that's totally fair. That's totally fair. I mean, it's a long series. We'll see how it progresses and whatnot. I'm hoping to be entertained, but again, it's the same format. So the problem with like this series is that, who JL? What up? I don't know who JL is. I like podcasting, trying to acclimate to our discussion. Yeah. JL, Nicholas is our resident expert on Star Wars. Do not piss him off because he will cut your head up.
No, I'm not.
Put some respect on Luke Skywalker's name.
Yes, he deserves some respect on his name.
Put some respect on Luke Skywalker's name.
he's more than just the legends. Okay, he's the man.
Yeah,
he is. Okay.
Oh wait, is that James Lott?
Huh. Where are you at? Where are you seeing his comments at?
It's on the YouTube channel.
Oh, I'm watching through Facebook. Let me get it on YouTube.
Yeah, no, it's on YouTube. Yeah, well, my shit, I could I can view all of them, so I can view everyone's like comments and shit. So yeah, no, this shit. So look, it's not going. It's
going to cross no boundaries. He said I had a serious face. It's all good. We're all friends here. We're all friends. Just put some respect on Luke Skywalker. That's all I'm saying. Rey is not the last Skywalker. She's the last Palpatine.
Yeah. By the way, another high school colleague of mine joined. So this is crazy. James Lott, pharmacist, entrepreneur, right? Doing big things in like the farm tech world or whatnot. Had, I think, was Chicago's 40 under 40, I think. If I'm not remember correctly. So yeah, thanks, James, for supporting, man. Much appreciated. All right. Yeah, this is yeah, no, I actually like the series. So far, yeah. We'll see how it works. One thing that's I'm kind of on the series that I know exactly how it's gonna end. It's gonna be.
Well, I mean, you know, Obi-Wan's
all the other formats that has happened.
I'm curious. So he's supposed to fight Darth Vader in this series. So I'm curious to see how that's going to turn out.
Yeah.
Really curious to see how that's going to turn out.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how the third sister. So her name is Moses Ingram. Oh, I want to talk a little bit about. I
think, and there's a theory online. I think that she is a survivor of Order 66.
Yeah. Well, he said it himself too. He already set it up earlier. It's like a lot of the Inquisitors were former Jedi masters. Now they're hunting their own kind, right? So I think that's kind of where she's at, right?
Yeah.
With that. We'll let that story play out. I do want to point out one thing too. So her name is Moses Ingram. She plays the third sister, right? Obviously, a Black person in a Star Wars franchise.
It's at 3 now, right?
Huh? We're up to 3. We're up to 3. We're up to 3 Black people, guys. Oh my God. No, it's no. So no, it's a Black person or a person of color in the Star Wars series. And as you know, people of color in Star Wars series tend not to do very well, right? In terms of certain fans, right? Remember what happened to the Asian lady? I think when the name was
they didn't do anything with her character either. I mean, they just
they should be
insulted by what they had her do, man.
I mean, they screwed it. I mean, they had her have like a super big role in like what was it, the Last Jedi, right? Which is a total pivot from like the first movie. Yeah. Which is why the second movie is actually my the second movie. I think I told you this is my favorite and my least favorite movie at the same time. It's weird. That's never happened before. But she so let's talk about Moses Ingram. Like, so it's obviously a Black woman in Star Wars, and they already prepped her for like the obvious like racial backlash that she might like receive, right? I think his name is Josh Boyega. Who was he played the Finn character?
John Boyega.
John. Okay, and obviously, see, I'm already going to forget her name. I need to get her name correctly. But the Asian lady that was in Star Wars, right? They gave her a lot of shit, which just sucked. So yeah, it's frustrating, and it always makes me. Her name is Kelly Marie Tran.
There you go.
Yeah, had to get. A colleague of mine who watched the pod or hits the podcast hates it whenever I forget someone's name, and he always like calls me. I was like, you need to remember people's name, like get their name right. I'm like, right, I'll get the name.
Put some respect on the name. I mean,
yeah, well, absolutely. Yeah. But it shows kind of where we are in our society, where we have to prepare a Black woman to watch, to be ready for like online criticism because Star Wars fans are stupid and ridiculous and
I think that's
borderline racist.
That's just fans. That's just fans in general. That's fans in general.
Yeah.
But I did like her from a story perspective because she got some real beef with Obi-Wan Kenobi. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that because I believe he gave the order to like not go and help out at the Jedi Temple or something like that. Like he did some stuff that if you're a youngling and you were there in that situation, I could see them being pissed once they grow up, right? So yeah, I could definitely see why she has some beef. And I'm curious, how much skill does he still have with the Force, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious to see that. I'm also curious to know if you watch the Clone Wars, you know that at some point during this time between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, Ben Kenobi also defeated Darth Maul like for the final time.
Yep.
Where does that happen in this timeline?
Does that happen? Does it show up? Does Ahsoka Tano show up? She's around, right?
She's there.
Yeah.
I read somewhere she makes a cameo.
Are they gonna have a younger actress play her because she's years younger, like much younger, right? In this part of the timeline than where she is with the Mandalorian, right? I don't know. Is it like 30 years or so? I'm not sure. You're the expert. You tell me.
Wait, whoa. No. This should be about the same time, bro.
No.
Because the Mandalorian.
What?
No. You're right. I'm tripping.
Did I outwit the Star Wars master here?
No.
The Star Wars master?
Hold on. So your boy JL said Kelly Marie Tran got nominated for 3 awards from Star Wars in 2018.
Yeah.
Yo, let us know what awards that she got nominated for. I'm very curious to see that.
I'm actually going to find out right now because we're on the internet, right?
True. My phone has 8%, so I won't be looking at anything right
now. Yeah. No. She was in she's a beautiful looking woman, by the way. But she was in The Last Dragon, I think, as well. Awards nominations. It showed that she was nominated for a few awards. Yeah, so she was nominated by the Empire Awards for Best Female Newcomer, 44 Saturn Awards for Best Supporting Actress, right? And then Teen Choice Award for Choice for Breakout Movie Star. Which is crazy. And it's amazing because she had all these nominations, accolades, and she was forced to get off social media because people are dicks. And
what else is new?
Yeah. What else is new? We're not racist. We just don't like, people of color for some reason. Or we're very critical for some reason. Yeah. But we'll see how the series goes. Right now, I'll admit, and I was the first person to say like I don't care about like Obi-Wan Kenobi. I know how his story ends. I saw how he dies, right? Like they're kind
of. It's an interesting period of time, though. This time period between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope is an interesting time that I can understand why they are looking to explore. Right? I mean, this is stuff that you want to see explored, just like you want to see the time after Revenge of the Jedi. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That
Revenge
you want
to. You said Revenge of the Jedi.
Not Revenge of the Sith. What's the last movie? The last movie,
A New Hope?
The original trilogy. No, the last movie. The last
movie is A New Hope.
Of the original trilogy, man.
A New Hope.
That's the first movie.
Hold on.
There's the
New Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. I said Revenge of the Jedi. All right.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to see the time after Return of the Jedi and this period right here between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. those are two time periods where a lot of people want to see what happened. Because just like you, I'm curious about Ezra Bridger, right? What happened to that guy? Where's he at? I think he's supposed to be in the show, right?
Yeah.
And just like everybody, what's up with Luke? Let me see the exploits.
You're gonna see this is how they're gonna do it. They're gonna do you know who Salt Bay is, right? You know Salt Bay, right? They're just gonna sprinkle Luke like this, just a little bit like that. Get you guys hyped up, and then like not put him in not put him in any series at all. It's like a little bit of Luke right there, a little bit of Luke. I mean, hey, you saw him in this series, right? You saw him in the beginning.
You saw him, yeah. You saw him.
He was there. Right. Yeah. No.
I could respect his uncle too. His uncle was. It's funny. So like when you watch this show, and you watch shows like this, you see how protective his uncle is, right?
Yeah.
Get away from him. He doesn't need you. Why did you saw him bring him that little spaceship, the toy that he was playing with in A New Hope. Ben Kenobi brought him that. Why'd you bring him that? Right.
Yeah.
You know, Ben is trying to kind of start that spark of him wanting to see what else the galaxy has to offer. Uncle just wants him to be on the farm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I thought that was interesting too, right? Because when you watch New Hope now, it's like, yo, you knew who Ben Kenobi was the whole time, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, he brought him here. He was like, well, that's their family, right? And he's like, one of the things I thought was interesting though, and I had a thought and I lofted it, but he said something along the lines of, what was it? The Jedi is over, right? When he was talking to the other Jedi that was like in hiding, which is interesting because like apparently maybe he found himself at the end of the series. One thing I do like about the series though, so A New Hope, the first when Leia sends that very famous message, "You're my only hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi," or "You're my only hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi," or whatever, something like that, right? I'm sure some Star Wars fan is gonna like grill me for like getting that quote wrong, but anyway, it really your ass probably would. No,
help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
There you go, you got it. So no, it shows though how she knew him, right? Even though I think in the the first movie, she says that she knew him because of her dad, right, and not because of him per se.
Still facts, because her pops told him to go find her, right? Well, she told her that too, right?
Yeah,
so still facts.
Yeah. So no, I think it's gonna be an interesting series. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, good stuff. Yeah. So we'll see how this works. Hopefully, we'll get like maybe 6 episodes of this. It wasn't too shabby.
Low key, I think it's supposed to be more than 6 episodes.
Really? Well,
yeah.
Hopefully, it keeps my interest. Right. Hopefully, there's some good fight scenes, and I'm pretty well. He knows that Leia is force sensitive or has force abilities, right? But Leia doesn't know that until the Return of the Jedi in the for original series, and she never really gets trained, and then like she shows herself getting trained. That's why the third movie sucked.
Oh, of course they had to show her like flipping Luke Skywalker over. Of course they had to show that.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Again,
yeah.
Put some respect on his name. Greatest Jedi in history. Put some respect on it. Put some respect on his name.
Yeah, okay. This dude.
The man figured out how to do the Emerald Lightning. No light side user is supposed to have Force Lightning. Luke Skywalker had.
I have no idea what that means, but okay.
Exactly. my real Star Wars fans know. That's what I'm saying. Put some respect on his name.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, we'll see. No, Mandalorian 3 is coming out this season. What else is coming out?
Also, JL, it's all right if you haven't watched one, man, but once you get started, you're not going to stop.
Hey, just don't. Hey, James. Just don't be like Nicholas when you start watching.
You know what? I have to have.
Where's my Luke Skywalker series, damn it?
At least
Luke Skywalker.
We'll have to see if he's it. We'll have to do a poll maybe of Star Wars versus Star Trek, like who likes what more. I had to debate with my cousin like a long time ago because she's a Trekkie, and I was like, I was just going in on it, right? It's like, why are y'all out there? What are you doing exactly? It's just like a never-ending space mission. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
I'm sure some trackies gonna come get me, right? Well, I'm just saying. From the outside looking in.
That's how a lot of people like defined as like the Mandalorian, because the Mandalorian will have like a simple task: take this person from here to here, and then you got to go like here, and then all this other shit.
Oh, yeah, I mean that's what happened with the last God of War game, right? It was, let's take your mom's ashes to the mountaintop, and then you're going through like God knows where to get there, right? Still a great game, classic.
Yeah. Oh, Milton Beelan came out with the heat. He says Star Trek is trash.
My man. He earned points with me, bro.
I like the Star Trek movies.
Cheers.
I like the Star Trek movies.
The new ones, baby.
The new ones. Absolutely, the new ones.
But anything else, they're just like, yeah, we're going where no one has gone before, blah blah blah. It's like, yes, and you'll never go home. You're just there. you're just there. Right? You're just there. Yeah. You're just in space. By the way, where do you get your food at? Like, if you're just in space.
Well, I'm sure they reload that.
I just want to know. I just want to know.
Oh my God. Look, are you Star Trek fans? I'm just telling you, come after freaking Nicholas. Leave me the fuck out of this conversation, you crazy fuckers. Oh my God. Okay. Man, we've been at this for like what, over an hour. It's probably
hour 40.
Well, yes. We started late. Your ass came on late, but it was about an hour.
I came on at 8:02. What are you talking about?
2 minutes late, motherfucker. You give me shit for being late, I'm giving you shit for being late.
All right, fine, whatever.
Okay. But yeah, no. Man, it was a good one though. Had fun. Hopefully you guys had a very wonderful Memorial Day weekend. My ass spent a lot of time. I think I worked out a little bit yesterday. I was trying to work out today, and I just didn't have time. I'm building a new a new desktop that will help me be more of a content creator, right? That's a part of the reason why I bought this thing too, so I can do more content creation stuff and do more software engineering stuff. I love software engineering. So kind of keep all that stuff like going, and like my laptop like clocks like crazy. So hopefully we'll get this bad boy up and running sometime soon. Hopefully I don't blow it up. Blow myself up. Like it was a struggle bus for like the first time, and I am actually reluctantly going very slow. But
take your time, man. Yeah, take your time.
I will get it done when it needs to get done. So yeah. All right. We got some viewers today.
We appreciate y'all, for real.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and commenting and subscribing. Let you guys know we do this every Sunday. We're doing it on Monday because we wanted to watch the playoffs yesterday, and I'm happy we did.
Subscribe. Subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. That's what the YouTubers say, right?
Like, comment, subscribe. Yes.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Leave comments and shit. Every Sunday, 9:00 Eastern Standard Time, right? Since we're both East Coast. We're both. We're both from the DC area. Well, I'm in the DC area. Your ass is in freaking middle of fucking nowhere.
In the DMV. You rat bastard.
Barely.
I'm in the DC area.
You're barely in the DMV.
You're right. Barely there is still there. And I'm in a place
barely
where
there. You out there.
I'm in a place where you can get a single family home.
For respect.
I don't live in a college dorm room.
Don't either. Hey, you know what's so funny? I'm happy you mentioned that.
Hey, look, my office is not in my bedroom. I'm just gonna say that I have an office. I don't have a hot plate next to my bed. That's all I'm saying.
I don't have a hot plate next to my bed either. It's so funny to say that too, because I was actually one of the things what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand this desk. So I'm going to have like a fully electronic desk, I'm actually gonna put some paintings behind me, right? So your stupid ass can stop making fun of like my blank ass walls and shit. No, everyone makes a comment about it. It's true. It's totally true. I've always been a minimalist. I don't buy shit. I just don't buy shit.
Honestly, if I were you, I wouldn't do anything until I bought a house. I mean, for real. I know you're looking.
Yeah, no,
I wouldn't waste my time until you bought a spot.
Yeah, no, I am. I definitely am. And right now, I go in between like kind of buying a turnkey place or like a fixer upper, right?
Well, I don't think you want to. What kind of fixer upper? You want one like Ed has, or you want like something you can live in when you move?
Yeah, I mean,
no shade at you love it.
Well, I mean, this is just ridiculous, but at the same time, we're a little off topic too. I actually won't even. I may not even buy a place in DC. I might just buy it in like. I heard like Nashville has like the best ROI for like real estate, so may just buy something there. Never know, right? So still doing some research on that, and that will get done hopefully this year.
Hey, peep Crystal City, man. You can probably find a deal there. Crystal City, Old Town.
Really? Crystal City? Okay, I might check it out. And that's where Amazon HQ2 is going to be. So
you want to be close to the city, but not quite in it. I love my time in Crystal City. That was probably my favorite place to live since I've been out here.
I think Crystal City is really on the high side, though. I would say, but it'll be cool. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I have a very minimalist, like just thing. I don't like buying a bunch of shit and like posting shit up or whatever. I may change that a little bit, but I'm still gonna try to keep that minimalist aesthetic. I also want to add a little touch of cyberpunk / Afrofuturism, right? There's a lot of design you saw in Black Panther, right? Especially in Shuri's lab, a lot of Afrofuturism designs. So
hey, if you want to move out of the dorm room, I have a basement. I'm willing to rent it out
to you. I am not having your ass as a landlord.
Be a good landlord. What are you talking about? Be a great landlord.
I'm sure you would. Yeah. Yeah. No, you probably if I were to bring someone home.
You can't even say it with a straight face. You can't give me a compliment with a straight face. That's pretty much what that says. Yeah,
I think you're a great guy. Kidding. You're if I didn't have you, I wouldn't be spending my time with you. So yeah.
True.
So yeah, no, good stuff. Okay, thank you guys for watching. It is remember we do these every week at 4. Follow us on Facebook called the Targeted. I think it's called the Targeted Podcast on Facebook.
You think?
Is it called the Target? No, it's called Targeted on YouTube.
It's called the Targeted Podcast. Targeted Podcast.
Yeah. Targeted on YouTube. Targeted Podcast on Facebook.
The Targeted Podcast on Twitter. Okay. Targeted Podcast on IG.
Yeah. Okay, we're also on Twitch. Targeted Podcast on Twitch, though we don't have a lot. We don't have that up yet. So we need to kind of get that going.
We need some demand, you know what I mean? If y'all want a gaming session with the fellas from the Targeted Podcast, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, we do. We may have to go at it in Gran Turismo. I haven't played Gran Turismo in a minute though.
I was just playing yesterday. Okay, Gran Turismo, Mortal Kombat, Apex Legends.
Okay.
Come get it.
I haven't played Gran Turismo in a while. I actually played Horizon Zero West today for 30 minutes. I don't play. Yeah. I honestly don't play very much anymore. But I already beat the game. I told you I beat the game, and I got the platinum trophy for it too. Which it wasn't too hard. But yeah, that's kind of where we are with that. Right now I'm kind of in the place where I'm just like shooting, killing monsters. I think right now I have enough on my plate with building a new laptop, and I have some other little side things I want to kind of get done. So yeah, that's kind of where we are. All right. So yeah, I can't believe we've done this for almost 2 hours. It's crazy. It's probably one of our longest podcasts. So
We
yeah,
had some good stuff to talk about, man. The
I think
gun
we have to
thing
talk about.
really
Uh,
hits home for sure.
yeah, Nicholas bitching about like Star Wars is always great. So
Put some respect on his name. His name is Luke Skywalker.
put some respect on his name. I have no idea what we're going to talk about next. I know what else is coming out for Disney Plus. The Miss Marvel movie is coming out. I saw the trailer for Star Wars Encore.
I did see that.
Andor. I thought it was pretty cool. That looks.
The Green Lantern. There's a Green Lantern animated movie coming out featuring Jon Stewart. Definitely looking for that. It's called Green Lantern: The Emerald Knight. And you know what? For anybody out there who has but younger girls, maybe starting at the age of 9 or 10ish and going on up, if you may want to tune into Stargirl if you have HBO Max or the CW. I thought I was going to hate it. I was skipping in the series. I try to get my DC wherever I can. I'm a huge DC fan,
of course. Star Wars. That's Nicholas right there.
But I ended up just randomly like, let me see what it's about.
Yeah,
Stargirl is actually pretty good. I think it's better than the Supergirl TV series that was on not too long ago, actually.
Wow. Well, you actually hated that series for a while, though, right? Like
up until about season 3, they were trying too hard to push an agenda with that.
Yeah,
I got tired of it. I just got tired of it because you're not Superman. Well, who gives a shit, right? I mean,
yeah.
I know who you are. Yes, you're Supergirl. I get it. You're not Superman. I get it.
Yeah,
and that's why your ass got canceled.
Okay, cool. All right, well, let's go ahead and let's call it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Much appreciated. Hopefully by next week I'll have my new laptop up and running, and I might do an episode on that, just kind of talking about that shit. NBA Finals is happening.
I'm waiting for you to not have any microphone issues. And ladies and gentlemen, my prediction is going to be right. Okay, Golden State Warriors for the chip.
I'm actually, you know what? Knicks is going with Golden State Warriors. I'm actually going to go with Boston. And we'll see who's right.
Everyone's bet. There's a bottle of bourbon on the line.
Gotcha. Whoever. That's actually, I like that. Whoever loses gets the other person a bottle of bourbon. What do you like? Basil Hayden, right?
Actually, no. You can buy me a bottle of yak. So I'll take some. A bottle. We'll keep it in the $50-$60 range or whatever.
This motherfucker. No. If you win,
dude, you make good money. Don't do that. Don't do that.
It doesn't matter.
He might live, ladies, and this is definitely for the ladies. He might look like he lives in a dorm room. This is your rich African prince, right? This is that guy, right? This is a king from Zamunda. He's got money.
I'm gonna put that shit on my dating profiles. Put that shit on my dating profile. No, I like keeping money too.
Hey, me too.
I like paying, making money and I like investing it in other things.
Hey, look, I'm paying for this childcare. I have no money. I need this bottle.
It's so funny, and we're way over. So I was actually trying to plan a family vacation with like my parents and whatnot, and just planning shit for like family just sucks ass. Especially, it just sucks. I
don't know. We planned a great vacation with my family. It was great. So
well, good for you. Like, make a decision. So I was trying to plan something. We were gonna go to like U.S. Virgin Islands, and I still wanted to go. And we kind of brought the price together. And I told like my younger brothers, like, yeah, me and you are probably gonna like cover most of this cost or whatever, right? My older half brother was like, because I showed him the price, like, yeah, me and us will have this covered. Like, you just buy plane tickets and just show up there. And he goes, yeah, I don't feel comfortable with us, you guys spending that kind of money. I don't know what kind of money you guys have. I'm like, well, it's not like we have a lot of money. I just don't spend a lot, and I don't have kids. So, like, I save my money so I can go on trips and do shit.
Yeah. That's what I do. If I wasn't paying what equates to 2 mortgages, I would have a lot of money too.
They're well on the way. No, but you're rich in family, which is important. So
yes, there it is. I'm rich in family.
It's a huge thing. It's huge. Like
let me stop.
Don't. No, I actually am going to say that because keep in mind I'm in a pandemic, live by myself, right? You know, like. If my coworkers piss me off, there's no one for me to bitch to, right? Just me yelling at a wall, pacing back and forth. Right?
You and just you and Aloy.
Uh-oh. Wife's like, get your ass to bed.
No. Anyway. Probably something with the kids. Anyway, people.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. See you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Much appreciated. Bye. Thank you guys for the support.